So today we will be talking about the learners who are gifted and talented. So this is the final coverage of our discussion. Gifted and talented children means those persons between the ages of 4 and 21 whose abilities, talents, and potential for accomplishment are so exceptional or developmentally advanced that they require special provision to meet their educational programming needs. So, ibig sabihin yung gifted and talented children is nagsisimula sa 4 years old to 21 years old. So, 4 years old kasi doon na mismo na-notice ng guardian or parents if unusual yung isang bata or kakaiba or hindi karaniwan yung mga ginagawa or talents, abilities, and potential ng isang bata. So, if talented or gifted yung isang bata, kailangan ma-meet niya yung educational programming need na kung saan yung school na yon, yung educational program na yon, doon mas mapipursue ng isang bata yung talents, abilities, and potential niya or yung mga kakayahan niya para mas mapahusay and maturuan ng akma sa kung ano yung talents niya. Yan po. Children under 5 who are gifted may also be provided with early childhood special education services. So, gaya nga nung nasa taas kanina, between the age of 4 to 21, so 4, nalaman mo na gifted student yung bata. So, pagsapit nyo ng 5 years old, hanapan mo na ng provided school service na akma doon sa bata, akma sa talent and abilities niya para mas lalong ma-pursue or mapahusay yung abilities and talent ng bata. Yun. So, gifted student with disabilities twice exceptional and student with exceptional abilities for potential from all socio-economic and ethnic cultural populations. Gifted students are capable of high performance, exceptional production, or exceptional learning behavior by virtue of any or a combination of this area of giftedness. So yun na nga sa student twice exceptional is may provided services din sa educational services. General or specific intellectual ability, specific academic aptitude, which are reading, writing, math, science, social studies, and world languages. So, in specific talent aptitude, which are visual arts, performing arts, musical abilities, dance, psychomotor abilities, creative or productive thinking, and the last one is leadership abilities. Gifted and talented students. The idea of multiple intelligences leads to new way of thinking about student who have special gift and talents. So, di ba, sa normal student, halimbawa magaling siya sa math, so dun lang siya nag-excel. So, unlike the gifted and talented student, halimbawa may pinagawa yung instructor or binigay yung instructor na ganitong gagawin, mas lalo pa nilang na-elaborate or mas napapaganda because of the multiple intelligence. May mga techniques and strategy silang ginagawa yung mga gifted and talented students. So, traditionally, the term gifted referred only to students with unusually high verbal skills. Their skills were demonstrated especially well, for example, on standardized tests of general ability or of school achievements. More recently, however, the meaning of gifted has broadened to include unusual talents in a range of activities such as music, creative writing, or the arts. To indicate the change, educators often use the dual term gifted and talented. So here are the qualities of the gifted and talented student. So what are the students who are gifted and talented like? Generally, they show some combination of the following qualities. First bullet is they learn more quickly and independently than most student their own age. So, yung mga talented and gifted student daw is mas madaling matuto independently than, than most student their own age. So next, they often have well-developed vocabulary as well as an advanced reading and writing skills. They are very motivated, especially on tasks that are challenging or difficult. Next, they hold themselves to higher than usual standards of achievements. 5 common struggles of gifted and talented students. So, gifted and talented students are often the envy of their peers and naturally succeed in an academic setting. However, these gifts are not without their pitfalls. Exceptional students need emotional and social support to make sure that they take care of themselves as well as reach their maximum potential. This need can sometimes fall through the cracks when support systems in school aren't adjusted to the student. Below are 5 common struggles that gifted and talented students face. Number 1. Many gifted students try to reach an impossible goal, perfection. While it is normal and healthy to have high expectations for your child, it is important to make sure that these expectations don't negatively impact their mental health. Signs of unhealthy perfectionism are procrastination or unnecessary long amount of time devoted to already excellent projects. It's wonderful to strive to do your best, but prolonged perfectionist tendencies can lead to stomach problem, obsessive compulsive disorder, and, and even eating disorder in hope to maintain full control of their lives. Help your student accept that perfection is unattainable and set reasonable yet high academic goals and accept that no one themselves included is perfect. So, ibig sabihin, it is okay to set high expectation for your child, but make sure that this expectation don't negatively impact their mental health. So, to check if the health of your child is okay. So check every day, every hour if kumakain siya sa tama, and yung expectation na yan is hindi dapat maset sa utak ng bata na yun at yun lang yung gagawin ng bata. Dapat ginaguide ng guardian or parents na gawin yun hanggang sa ma-reach niya yung goal or something na gusto niyang mabot. And then, help the child na hindi help your child or student to accept that perfection is unattainable. So, ibig sabihin, tulungan mo yung bata or gifted student na huwag isa't sa mind niya na lahat mape-perfect. Yun, kasi once na may ginagawa yung bata at hindi niya nakukuha or hindi nagiging perfect sa paningin niya, magkakos ng illness, something na ganyan, and then mapapabayaan niya yung health niya, hindi kakain gawa ng kailangan i-perfect niya yung goal or ginagawa niya. That's it. So next, number 2, because of the pressures of rigorous schoolwork or extracurricular activities, many gifted and talented students have little free time. So, academic challenges are often fun to students with exceptional intelligence, but constant pressure and no time to relax can wear this fun away. Heavy workload of an accelerated program can cause a lot of stress and strain on young minds. It can take a toll very quickly and lead to burnout. To prevent this, make sure you help your child schedule time for themselves and encourage rest and relaxation, especially in regards to healthy habits and full night's sleep. It is vital to make sure your child has time to themselves as well as time to interact with friends and family. So, 'di ba, kahit naman sa normal student, kapag yung mga academic performance or mga activities sa school ay sobrang dami na and nape-pressure na and no time to relax. So, syempre, 'di ba, imbes na magiging fun ka para gawin 'yon, kumbaga na-stress ka. Just like normal student and gifted student lang din naman. So, 'di ba yung mga heavy workload can cause stress kasi 'di ba ang dami-dami mo nang gagawin tapos iniisip mo kung alin yung uunahin, paano gagawin. So, nagko-cause siya ng stress. So, as a guardian, dapat tinutulungan mo yung child or yung children sa pag-schedule ng time nila to encourage mo sila to relax and to rest, syempre. Tapos yung habits, yung healthy habits nila, dapat nakakatulog sila ng 8 hours. Yun na nga. Tapos, dapat nagbaban pa rin yung family and friends to make their happy, to make him, her happy para ma-relax siya. Kumbaga, yung stress sa school, yung pagod sa school, yung a lot of stress sa school is mapawi sa pagbanding ng mga friends and family. So, yun. So, yun na nga. Because of the activities, extracurricular, schoolwork, so, nagkakaroon lang ng little time, kakaunting oras because of that activity sa school. So, yun yung pangalawa sa mga struggle ng mga gifted student. And also, na-apply din to sa normal student. Kagaya din nito na kapag may mga activities, lalo na kung madami, workload, overload, heavy load, yun, diba, nagkakos siya ng stress. So, yun. So, yun na nga, because of the pressures, yun. Next, number 3, gifted children are often very socially mature for their age, but this can cause them to have problems interacting with their peers. Middle and high school are difficult transition for any student, but the pressure can be worse on exceptional students. Many children with average academic capabilities see their gifted peers as show off and try to distance themselves. In other cases, the gifted or talented student may have trouble finding similar interests to other children their age. It's easier to find friends with interest and intellect are similar. So, ibig sabihin nitong number 3, yung middle and high school level ng mga gifted student is hirap silang makisama. Halimbawa, yung gifted student nakisama dun sa normal student. So, syempre, yung capabilities kasi ng gifted student is mas angat compare doon sa normal student. Kaya, nahihirapan silang makisama. Pero kapag yung gifted student is nakisama mismo doon sa kapwa niya gifted student and pareho sila ng interest and intellect, so syempre doon na sila magkakaunawaan. Yun po. So, 'di ba yung mga gifted student kapag pinaghalo mo sa normal student, so syempre magkaka-distansya. So, magkakaiwasan because of their abilities, talent, 'di ba? Yun yung pangatlong struggle ng mga gifted and talented student. Nagkakaroon sila ng problem sa interacting with peers kasi nga iba yung talent nitong isa at hindi niya gusto yung isa. Kumbaga magkaiba ng interest kaya nahihirapan sila sa pag-i-interact or pagkakaroon ng kaibigan sa iba. Yan na. Okay, number 4, talented and gifted students may have trouble focusing on schoolwork that doesn't interest them or they don't naturally excel at. Accelerated children are used to academic curriculum coming naturally to them. It's part of being gifted. However, there will always be difficult or interesting subject, and it's important to address that students who are gifted in some areas aren't always gifted in every area and often get frustrated or bored with things they aren't immediately good at. High expectation can make it difficult to ask for support. On the other hand, when students pick up new material quickly, they can become bored and leave the rest of their peers behind and cause disruption in an ordinary classroom. So, ang ibig sabihin nitong number 4 is hindi lahat ng talented and gifted student are very good in all area or all subject. So, yun na nga. Kumbaga sa normal student, kapag magaling ka lang sa math, dun ka lang nag-excel. So, halimbawa, math siya nag-excel, yung normal student. Connect lang natin. So, kapag nag-topic ng ibang subject, so, 'di ba, halimbawa nagdi-discuss tapos yung student nakaupo. So, kapag hindi niya gusto yung subject na yun, something na magpapapansin siya, yung bagang kukuha ng ibang material na parang naboboard siya. Kumbaga, lilibangin niya yung sarili niya. And, yun na po. Just like the, just like talented and gifted student, kapag hindi niya gusto yung subject na yun or hindi siya nag-excel sa subject na yun, kumbaga naboboard siya kasi wala siyang interest sa subject na yun. Just like that. So, last number 5. Organizational skills can also be a problem with gifted students as many are abstract thinkers. So while it is more common for male students to become distracted and disorganized, this is an issue that affects everyone. It is easy to become overwhelmed for abstract thinkers as it can make it difficult to break down large projects into easy pieces. Visual aids like homework planners and calendar are excellent, and the old school pencil and paper can also help the organization process. It is important to remember that gifted and talented students are still children and are in need of parental and educational support. The problem listed above can be easily dealt with in an environment suited to accelerated children, like our trained staff at the tennis school, the one-on-one approach and specialized support group help our students succeed even in the face of this challenge. Learners with social emotional disorder. Students who suffer from emotional and behavioral disorder or EBD often find it very difficult to control their behavior and focus on their work in the classroom. EBD students also commonly lack the impulse control and the emotional balance that is necessary to handle social interactions with the other student effectively. This can be challenging for you as their teacher, especially in an inclusive classroom where only a portion of the students have EBD. But there are ways to help all students in your classroom feel welcome and ready to learn. EBD students' behavior can be moderated by implementing a classroom management plan that is specially tailored to meet the specific needs of these students. So, here are 5 effective strategies you can use to help EBD kids work well in an inclusive classroom. So, number 1, keep class rule or activities simple and clear. Your EBD student as well as some of your more focused students will most likely struggle if you impose a long list of complicated rules and demands. So try to keep your classroom guidelines broad and simple. No more than 3 to 5 main rules. Let students know about them on the first day of class, and post them in classroom as well. An example list might be on time, try your best, be polite, and respect one another. So, in doing an effective strategies, so make 3 to 5 rules, no more, any words that can yung bang mas malilito sila, or yung pinaka simple and broad lang words yung gagamitin para mas maintindihan ng student. Kumbaga direct to the point. That's it. So, along with simple and clear rules, there should be simple and clear teaching activities. Using activities that don't have complicated directions allows students with EBD to follow along and interact with the rest of the class. So some activities examples are responsive cards, clickers, choral responding, unison responding, and the last one is guided notes. So by including clear activities in your classroom, your student will engage and interact with the lesson plan, ensuring that they learn alongside other students. Number 2, reward positive behavior. So, while you will at times have to discipline children for improper behavior, remember that rewarding positive behavior is ultimately far more effective in the long run. So, when a student with emotional and behavioral disorder tend to take any discipline as a personal attack, and because of this, they often learn very little from it. So, try to celebrate the success of this student more than you reprimand or punish their mistakes. When they receive positive feedback and rewards, they start to see that there is a positive benefit to good behavior. They will then start to see you as more of an ally than an adversary, and this will in turn motivate them to want to behave and do well in your classroom. So sa number 2 strategies, dito sa number 2 reward positive behaviors is napaka-effective even sa normal student and gifted student, kasi once na yung student is pasaway is magkakaroon ng agreement yung student, between the student and the teacher. Halimbawa, pasaway din, yun na nga, magkakaroon ng agreement na pag nagawa mo to ganyan, may punishment ka, ay, reward rather. Yun, napaka-effective nun until mabago na nung teacher yung ugali ng isang estudyante. Yan. Ito yung mga isa sa mga strategies kung paano tulungan ng teacher yung EBD student. Yan pa. So, number 3, allow for many breaks. A lot of EBD, emotional and behavioral disorder, kids lack the emotional balance and maturity needed to remain focused and on task for long periods. Instead of reprimanding the student for these lapses, build in short rest period or many breaks into the school day. So, take time to periodically stop teaching and allow students to catch up if need be. Give them time to finish their assignments and allow those who have finished to stretch, get out of their sets, and move around a bit. This will allow them to burn off any excess energy that might have built up from sitting still for a long period of time, and it's good for you to stretch too. Okay. So, dito naman sa number 3, allow for many breaks. Example nito yung nasa elementary to high school level tayo, na halimbawa papasok yung teacher, so nakita niya na parang something boring, then patatayan, mag-exercise, enjoy, clap. something like that, to enjoy and para maalis yung boring na tingnan. Yun. And then, next, number 4, fair treatment for all. Students with emotional and behavioral disorders also often don't respond very well to situations that appear unfair to them. This can trigger a cascade of negative emotions and acting out behavior. To ensure that you are treating of all students in a consistently fair manner, don't bend your established rules for any student. Enforce the expected consequences every time with every student. Allowing exception opens you up to accusation of being unfair. So, dito naman sa fair treatment for all, ito naman talaga yung pinaka-importante sa isang classroom na dapat fair yung treatment ng teacher sa lahat ng student. Kasi, what if may favoritism tapos paano naman yung iba? Paano naman yung attention doon sa iba? So, dapat kapag ka may naririnig yung teacher na ay paborito niya ganto si ano ganyan. So dapat magkaroon ng open up between the student and teachers para mas malinawan. Halimbawa pumasok yung gifted student sa normal school. So 'di ba naghalo yung gifted student doon sa normal student. So nasa normal school sila, nasa normal, yun na nga, yung nasa ganito guys sa atin. So, di ba mas magkakaroon ng attention doon sa gifted student kasi mas dapat siyang pagtuunan ng pansin. So, kung ganon, dapat magkaroon ng open up, ipaliwanag kung ano yung nangyayari, kung ano yung condition para hindi magkaroon ng silusan yung mga student or magkaaway-away dahil sa treatment ng teacher doon sa isang estudyante compare sa karamihan. That's all. Next, number 5. Use motivational strategies. Unfortunately, emotional and behavioral disorders students tend to have had a lot of negative experiences in school. Therefore, they often lack the desire of motivation to try to succeed. To avoid disruptive or off-track behaviors, take some extra steps to motivate these students. Often them incentives for academic successes, large and small. Celebrate their hard work and praise their good effort consistently. This can go a long way in giving the student the motivation to excel in your class. While having EBD kids in your classroom can at first seem daunting, these are proven ways to help cultivate and keep a harmonious spirit of learning. More good news, many of these strategies for success can help your non-EBD student as well. Next, eating disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder. Eating disorder are a range of psychological conditions that cause unhealthy eating habits to develop. They might start with an obsession with food, body weight, or body shape. In severe cases, eating disorder can cause serious health consequences and may even result in death if left untreated. Those with eating disorder can have a variety of symptoms. However, most include the severe restriction of food binge, or purging behavior like vomiting or over exercising. Although eating disorder can affect people of any gender at any life stage, they most often reported in adolescents and young men. In fact, up to 13% of youth may experience at least one eating disorder by the age of 20. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD, is a disorder in which people have recurring unwanted thoughts, ideas, or sensation, obsession, that make them feel driven to do something repetitively, compulsions. Next, psychotic disorder, or psychotic disorder are severe mental disorder that cause abnormal thinking and perceptions. People with psychosis lose touch with reality. Two of the main symptoms are delusion, misunderstanding, and hallucinations or vision illusion. Learners with chronic illnesses. Chronic illnesses affect at least 10 to 15% of American children, responding to the needs of students with chronic conditions such as asthma, allergy, diabetes, and epilepsy, also known as Cesar disorder. In the school setting requires a comprehensive, coordinated, and systematic approach. Students with chronic health conditions can function to their maximum potential if their needs are met. The benefits the student can include better understand, improve alertness and physical stamina, fewer symptoms, fewer restriction on participation in physical activities and special activities, such as field trips and fewer medical emergencies. School can work together with parents, students, healthcare providers, and the community to provide a safe and supportive educational environment for students with chronic illnesses and to ensure that students with chronic illnesses have the same educational opportunities as do other students. So here are the family's responsibilities. So first, first bullet, notify the school of the student health management needs and diagnosis when appropriate. Notify school as early as possible and whenever the student health need change. Next, provide a written description of the student health need at school, including authorization for medication, administration, and emergency treatment, signed by the student's health care provider. So next, provide an adequate supply of student medication in pharmacy labeled container and other supplies to the designated school staff and replace medication and supplies as needed. This supply should remain at school. Next, provide the school as means of contacting you or other responsible person at all times in case of an emergency or medical problems. Next, educate the student to develop age-appropriate self-care skills. Next, promote or good general health, personal care, nutrition, and physical activities. Last, participate in the development of a school plan to implement the student health care needs. So here are also the school's responsibilities. So first bullet, identify students with chronic conditions and review their health record as submitted by families and healthcare providers. Next, arrange a meeting to discuss health accommodation and educational aids and services that the student may need and to develop a 504 plan, individualized education program or IEP or other school plan as appropriate. The participant should include the family, student if appropriate, school health staff 504 or IEP coordinator as applicable, individual trained to assist the student, and the teacher who has primary responsibility for the student. Healthcare provider input may be provided in person or in writing. Next, provide non-discriminatory opportunities to students with disabilities. Be knowledgeable about and ensure compliance with applicable federal laws, including American with Disabilities Act or ADA, Individual with Disabilities Education Act or IDEA, Section 504, and Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act of 1974, known as FERPA. Be knowledgeable about any state or local laws or district policies that affect the implementation of school rights under federal law. Next, clarify the rules and obligations of specific school staff and provide educational and communication system necessary to ensure that student health and educational needs are met in a safe and coordinated manner. Next, implement strategies that reduce disruption in the student school activities, including physical education, recess off-site events, and extracurricular activities and field trips. Next, communicate with families regularly and as authorized with the student healthcare provider. Next, ensure that the student receives prescribed medication in a safe, reliable, and effective manner and has access to needed medication at all times during the school day and school-related activities. Next, provide appropriate health education to students and staff. Provide a safe and healthy school environment. Ensure that case management is provided as needed. And ensure proper record keeping, including appropriate measure to both protect confidentiality and to share information. And promote a supportive learning environment that views students with chronic illnesses the same as other students except to respond to health needs. And the last one is to promote good general health, personal care, and nutrition, and also the physical activities. So here are also the students' responsibilities. So the student responsibilities, first bullet, notify an adult about concerns and needs in managing his or her symptoms or school environment. Participate in the care and management of his or her health as appropriate to his or her developmental level. So, empathize by understanding chronic and invisible illnesses. Some chronically ill students experience invisible illnesses, which are illnesses that are not necessarily evident or obvious. So, students with invisible illnesses might not use mobility aids such as wheelchairs, and invisible ailments include issues that can affect students physically and or mentally. In addition to mental health issues, chronic illnesses with visible and invisible element may include diabetes type 1 and 2 common, asthma very common, allergies very common, skin condition, cancer, AIDS, epilepsy, sickle cell anemia, cerebral palsy, and spina bifida, and congenital heart issues.